Today on the channel, we ranked WWE Mattel Elite Series 106 from my least favorite to my favorite. We also unboxed the Chase Edition Paul Bearer.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Here and welcome back to the channel for another set rankings. As today we rank from my least favorite to my favorite WWE Mattel Elite Series 106, but we also unbox Paul Bearer, the Chase Edition. But for all your 106 needs, make sure you hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. Gotta get a deal out there. And Paul Bearer, Chase Edition in this one, and this one really works out good as we've got a lot of good Chase Editions from the Elite line over the last couple of years, and we've got some not so great, but this one really does fill a hole in our collections here, as it's a little later days Paul Bearer, where he's got the reddish kind of hair there. He's managing Kane, as we remember. He's turned on the Undertaker, blue suit instead of black, no makeup on his face. Basically feels like a totally different character here, and I would love to see more Chases in the Elite line be something like this with other characters. So this one should be pretty good. Can't wait to dive in, get it out of the box, and of course we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, see what old Paul Bearer is up to. There's old Uncle Paul looking only like he could look in a blue suit. He probably went to the Men's Warehouse for that one. I don't know, do they have large size? I'm not sure if they go that large there, but he definitely looks good in the suit. An iconic performer, no doubt about it, Paul Bearer. Probably a top 10 manager of all time. A lot of people are probably top 5, I would have to think. Of course, me, once again, I preferred Percy Pringle. It was just a different time for me. But I do like Paul Bearer as well. And Paul looking good over here. Paul Bearer, WWE Elite, WWE logo, window box, of course. There's black suited Paul Bearer on the side, not blue. Elite Collection, Paul Bearer, certified authentic. And then on the back, Paul Bearer, giving that, going a little, some of that going on right there. Cross sell down below, of course, we will rank this whole wave from my least favorite to my favorite later on in this very video here. Paul Bearer, see what it says about Paul Bearer on the back of the package. Oh yes! In the Attitude Era, the ghoulish manager of Undertaker turned his back on the dead man and introduced the world to the monstrous Kane. Oh, he sure did. He sure did give us Kane. There it goes. See you later as we split across in midair. We got Paul. We got 2 urns here. You can put one with the other. Different hands. You can make them totally different if you want to. I always do love that, of course. You guys know me. Love to make my figures as different as possible if they're very similar. Different hands, different looks. It goes a long, long way. And that's what we do get with Paul Bearer. I'm going to pull old Uncle Paul out of the package here. I'm just powering through these twist ties. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Powered through. See you later. Goodbye. All right, let's get down to business here with old Paul Bearer. We do got that rubber band. I'll pull that off of his waist, off of his hand, and we are ready to go. Of course, hands. We got the 2 big gripping hands. I'm not sure why we have the deep gripping hands here for Paul Bearer, as he can't hold these urns, either of them there, so very strange. Then you got the maniacal hands, the kind of majestic hands is what we got. The Randy Orton hands going on for Paul Bearer. And then we do got the big old open hands for Paul Bearer over here. So you really choose your own Paul Bearer hand adventure. Now we do get the big urn from SummerSlam 94 or around that parts. The lid does come off, as we saw in the regular edition of this as well. Kind of a nice goldish color on here. Looking good. I'm here for something different. We've never had a big urn like this in the past, so that is pretty cool, I do think. And then we do get a more regular size, smaller urn right here. Definitely different. A good weight to this one as well. Not super, super light, so I'm here for that. So the urns, the hands, the accessories with Paul Bearer, right on point for what we need for a Paul Bearer figure. But now we get Paul Bearer looking very cool, and it really does feel like a different figure here. Starting off with the head, it's the same head, but you take away that ghoulish makeup, the bags under the eyes, the black hair. Now he's got the brownish red hair. I think it looks great. He still looks like a stack of mashed potatoes, but he still looks really, really good. And I'm definitely going to pair this up with Kane. Just got to figure out which Kane in my display, but I do like the looks of the head on this one. Similar but different, as we always do say here. Of course, the tie, totally different. The undershirt, totally different. The blue suit instead of the black, totally different. Really does feel like a totally different figure. In a lot of ways it is. You put different hands on him. Like I said, one holds one urn, one holds the other urn. Man, oh man, you got totally different pallbearers is what you do have here. Now, arms, of course, go all the way around. You do get the bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless elbows, as we know. Hands removable back and forth, side to side. Head removable back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation, a little upper hula hoop as well. Big old pallbearer splits if you need them. Thigh cut. Double jointed, pinless knees, big old knees on pallbearer, big old legs, and of course ankles up and down side to side. Not a ton of movement there, but you do got it. Of course, does he fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand? What do you know? Fits like a glove right there. Looking really, really nice. Fitting really good. Uh-oh, knocking him over here. Falling on me. But looking really good. I love the blue suit. A different era, a different time for pallbearer. One that we needed in our collections. I am here for it. I think it's been back to the Jakks Bone Cruncher days the last time we got this era of pallbearer. No, I gotta walk that back. It would be Jakks Classic Superstars. We got that god-awful 3-pack with Undertaker, Kane, and pallbearer, but it was more akin to this one, as we do remember. So we do have that, and of course we got pallbearer from the regular one, the non-chase one. Like I said, similar but different, but man, it definitely works. It looks really good. I am going to put this big urn with this one. I'm going to put the smaller urn over here on this side. That's how I'm going to go to market with these two in my collection. Of course, we got Kane. I'm not sure if this is totally accurate, but this is the ring, the Raw is War, Raw Attitude ring, Kane, the Ultimate. Kind of putting that right there. Looking pretty good. And of course, we talked about Undertaker earlier. I had this Undertaker out. I guess it's still here. I'll put that there. But pallbearer, too big man as a manager, one of the most influential managers, and really, you could make the case he was the last kind of viable manager in wrestling, the last kind of the old schools of the Bobby Heenans, Jim Cornettes, things like that, the kind of last one to really leave. Obviously, there's been managers since then, but I don't know if any had that kind of same mystique, I don't know what the word is, but of a Bobby Heenan, of a Jim Cornette, and the like there. So very, very fun, this chase. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the best elites so far as managers go, I would say, out of all the manager elites. We could easily do a top 10 elite managers countdown, but these two right at the top of the list for me. Very, very good figures, no doubt about it. But what say you guys? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. But we're not done yet. Like I said, we got to take these two, put them with the rest of 106, and we're going to rank the entire wave from my least favorite to my favorite. All right, let's kick off Elite 106 rankings, and we're going to start, of course, with my least favorite, work our way to my favorite. As usual, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in order. That's the challenge. That is the fun part. But we got, what, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures here. So we're going to start off at number 7. And no offense, I hope he doesn't be offended by this. We're going to number 7, we're going to go Jey Uso. Not a ton of meat on the bone. Not a lot of differences here. Yeah, we got some different designs. But we've had a lot of Jey Uso figures in 2022. So he doesn't feel as exciting, feel as special to me. That's why Jay's going to be number 7 right here. After that, though, I think I'm going to go Roxanne Perez at number 6. Nothing against this first time in the line figure. Looks good for what it is. It's just, I don't know if it just doesn't resonate with me quite yet. Hopefully it will, maybe more in the future. But a better than expected figure. I will give it that if you did see the review of this Roxanne Perez. So a good figure, though, just not at the top of the list of these figures right here. So that's 7, that's 6. Now we go to number 5. And number 5... I'm going to go to Sami Zayn. A lot of the same reasons as Jey Uso. I like Sami Zayn. He's one of my favorite performers on the Raw roster for sure. Just not a ton of meat on the bone for Sami. A lot of his figures feel the exact same. The only thing we get is a different head. I do like the more serious head tone on this one. It is a nice upgrade. Love the soft good shirt. But it's just Sami Zayn at the end of the day. I'm really looking forward to the Ultimate that is rumored to be coming very soon in 2024. That could be a game changer for the Sami Zayn collection. We might be having to do a top 5 Sami Zayn figures after that figure is released. So there we go. So now we got the final 4 here. And number 4, you know what? I think I'm going to go... I'm going to go Jimmy Uso, and Jimmy Uso is a lot farther up than his brother for one simple fact here. Of course, just like Jay, we've got a lot of Jimmys this year, but this Jimmy, a little bit of a game changer, is for once, it feels like it's Jimmy, I guess, to the majority of the people out there, myself included, but the new hair, where you could change the hair around, is quite the game changer. We're going to see more of that in 2024. This is one of the first times we're seeing that. I think it is very fun. I felt like it warrants moving him a little farther up the list there. So there we go. But now we're down to the final three here. 3 figures left, 2 Paul Bearers and a Chad Gable. Where do we go from there? Well, we're going to go to number 3, and number 3 for me is the old school Paul Bearer, older school Paul Bearer, whatever you want to say. It is the black suit regular edition Paul Bearer. A very good figure, a nice upgrade from the old ones. To me, I'm still convincing myself that debut Paul Bearer is the older versions. This is more late in the game Paul Bearer is what this one is. Different body style, new body style. It's always fun to get something new, much like the hair here. So I do like what we're seeing with this Paul Bearer. Just not quite enough to get to the number 2 or number 1 spot for me. So that leaves us with Chad Gable and Paul Bearer here. It is tight. These are always tight races at the very end for me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Chad Gable number 2 and Paul Bearer number 1. How about that? The Chase Edition Paul Bearer number 1. Chad Gable, way overdue. Hopefully we get some more Chad Gable figures in the future, but if it is very well seems like this could be the last one, maybe until 2025. Who knows what is time, but very much excited to get Otis and maybe the rest of the Alpha Academy in figure form. A great upgrade from the former figures that we talked about. Love the extra hands, love the soft goods, love the singlet. A lot to like about this one. However, Paul Bearer, this is a Paul Bearer that feels very different. This is a different look we've never had in the Elite line. We got it 2 times in the past. It's one we don't get very often, but it feels like one we really needed in our collection for this era of Paul Bearer. So it is a legend. It is a long game, I guess, release here. Just feels a little bit more special. And then you add the chase factor on it, which is really fun and truly one of the best chases, I think, from the Elite line so far, as these two feel very, very different from each other. Wrap all that stuff in a nice pretty bow for the holidays, and you got Paul Bearer Chase Edition 106 at the number 1 spot for me. So there it is, Elite 106, from my least favorite to my favorite. What say you? Put your list in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell, so we got videos every single day and then some. And of course, don't forget about Patreon for early access to videos like this, bonus content, exclusive content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it. All over there on the old Patreon channel, and Patreon, best way to support this very channel. You can also support the channel at ProStetees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Elite 106, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.